What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Connie, and we are one day away from opening day for the Toronto Blue Jays, so we will definitely be having some baseball bets coming up this week, possibly some baseball futures. I'm not a big futures guy before the season starts because so many things can happen between trades, injuries. I'm more of I like betting futures sort of around the All-Star break. Maybe you don't get the best, massive long shot odds, but you do seem to have a better opportunity. But I will have some futures on things like awards that I'll be posting on my Twitter. Also today, I will be starting the best Toronto bet today little segment that's going to be, nothing's going to change here. And I'm going to start posting just an under 30-second video on YouTube Shorts, TikTok Stories, Instagram Stories, and on Twitter. My favorite Toronto bet for that particular day, regardless of the sport. So as long as the Toronto team is playing, Leafs, Raptors, TFC, Argos, Blue Jays, 9:05 when that's going on, and then during the NFL season, Buffalo, which is my favorite team. Every single day that there is a game, I will be recommending just one Toronto bet, which I think will be fun too, as like a little sub thing there. We're on a bit of a heater, so today's going to be an interesting card. Two similar bets in hockey, and then an interesting bet in the NBA. We're 1-0-1 this week. Again, you always get the full scope of everything if you watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify or Apple Podcast, and follow me on Twitter, because I had bet the Indiana Pacers on Monday, solely based on the fact that Luka Doncic was not playing because of his 16th tech. That was rescinded. I cashed out that bet immediately. No harm, no foul. And the Mavs won pretty heavily because Tyler Halliburton didn't play as well. So if you're watching this or listening to this, you're going to get the most, I guess, bang for your buck listening to the full version and my breakdowns. The TikTok stuff is great. The Instagram stuff is great, but that's sort of just quick little hits, right? But that's where we're at for today. So we're 1-0-1 on the week. Coming into today, we've got, like I said, two bets in the NHL, and we're going to start today with the Islanders and the Capitals. Usually I'm betting overs, but we're going to start betting, usually I'm betting unders. We're going to start betting overs. And I'm starting in Washington with the Islanders and the Capitals, and we're going over 5.5 for -120 at BetMGM. Coming into this, the Islanders are 38-28, the first in the wild card race. Washington is 34-32. They're sort of middling about the middle of the wild card there. They're 17-14 at home. Islanders are 16-15 on the road. But I like, even though these two teams are under teams on the season, I like this game to go over 5.5. Recently, for the Islanders, over is 4-0-2 in their last 6 against the Metro Division. Over is also 4-1 in their last 5 games following a win. You look at Washington, over is 8-0 in their last 8. It's 4-0 in their last 4 against the Metro, 5-0 in their last 5 against the East, 4-0 in their last 4 home games. It's also 4-1 the last 5 times these two teams have met, which is interesting. And 5.5 is just a supremely low number. When you look at their recent last times that for the Islanders, that the line has been 5.5, over, there was an under, but then over. The last times that it's been set at 5.5 for Washington, when it's been set at 5.5, it's only been set at 5.5 once in their last 10 games, went over. So it's been, again, they're going over 8 games in a row, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 6. Those were all the lines, all blew over. Give me the over between the Washington Capitals and the New York Islanders for -120 at BetMGM. We've got another 5.5. We've got another -120. And we're going to take another over. It's the Wild and the Avalanche. These are under teams, but it's interesting here. You've got two teams that are coming into this sort of neck and neck in the standings. 43-22 for the Wild, 44-23 for the Avs, 41-30 to the under for Minnesota, 41-27 to the under for Colorado, right? So if you want to take the under here, that's fine. 6 is a number that I would like if you want to take the under, but 5.5, I'm going to go over. And especially with Marc-Andre Fleury. The last time that these two teams met and Marc-Andre Fleury was in net, it was a 6-3 win for Colorado. There were 9 goals. Previous to that, or after that, the last time these two teams played, it was a 5-3 final, so that did go under for 5 goals. But Minnesota's been an under team as of late, right? They're 4-0 in their last 4 games to the over after allowing 2 or less goals in their previous game. Over's 5-1 in their last 6 road games. They might be running into a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of boredom as they're getting towards the end of the season. Colorado's over 6-1 in their last 7 after allowing 2 goals or less, the same as Minnesota. Over is also 4-0 in their last 4 when their opponent scores 5 or more goals in their previous game. Over is 3-1-1 the last 5 times these teams have met in Colorado. And again, let's take a look at the same thing I just did for the other game. When you look at the last time that this number was set at 5.5 for Minnesota, they went under, but then over. when that number is set to 5.5. It's landing on 6 a lot. You look at Colorado when it's set to 5.5. You know how many times when it's set to 5.5 in the last 10 games? 0. So let's look at 6. Over, under, push, over. So 6 is a number. If you want to hit 6 and then take the under, you can. If you want to hit 6 and take the over, you can. But at 5.5, this game just has one of the books. Assume this game is going to land on 6, 4-2, something like that. An empty netter there. So I like the over again. I think that's just a part of the season that we're in for these particular teams. So over 5.5 for -120 at BetMGM. And now we're going to switch over to the National Basketball Association. We've got an interesting matchup here. It's the Lakers at the Bulls. Lakers come into this 37-38. They're vying for a playoff spot. Chicago 36-39. Same deal. They're in 10th in the East. The Lakers are 16-20 on the road. The Bulls are 20-17 at home. These two teams just played 3 days ago, and it was a 118-108 win for the Bulls. Now you might say, well, perfect spot for a bounce back game here for the Lakers. LeBron James is back. Yeah, he is. He is questionable for tonight with the foot injury. Don't know how much he's going to play if he plays. If he doesn't play, this line's going to go way the other way because I've got the Bulls on the money line. I've got that for +105. Anthony Davis is probable, but he's battling a foot injury. D'Angelo Russell's probable. He's battling a hip injury. On the flip side for the Bulls, they don't have Lonzo Ball, but they haven't all year. Not a big deal. Not dealing with a lot of other injuries after that. The Lakers are... They're playing pretty good. Yeah, they are. Chicago, 0-3-1 ATS in their last 4 games versus a team with a losing straight-up record. They haven't played very good. Bulls are 1-5 in their last 6 Wednesday games. Lakers are 5-1 ATS the last 6 meetings in Chicago. So you might say this is a perfect spot for the Lakers to have that big bounce-back game, and you might be right. If you take the Lakers, I don't blame you. I just think Chicago needs it a little bit more. They're desperate. They're at home. You've got DeMar DeRozan. I think DeRozan should have a big game tonight. I like the way he's been playing as of late. The Bulls actually haven't been too bad. They did actually, after they beat the Lakers, they've played a game in between. They lost to the Clippers 124-112, but those were on the road. That was a 3-game road trip. They're back at home now. Which I like. They're going back to Charlotte. It's just a weird game. I think it's a nice spot for the Chicago Bulls. They desperately need the big win. The Lakers are a very confusing team. You've got LeBron's injury, Davis's injury, Russell's injury. This is, to me, it's honestly a coin flip. I like the home team in this situation. They're better at home than the Lakers have been on the road. Could very well be wrong. The NBA is tough, man. But if LeBron doesn't play, I like this number. Get it now, because if LeBron doesn't play, this is going to go quite a bit the other way. So I'm going to take the Chicago Bulls on a hunch. +105 at BetMGM. That is your card for Wednesday. Give me the New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals to go over 5.5 for -120 at BetMGM. Give me the Minnesota Wild and the Colorado Avalanche to go over 5.5 for -120 at BetMGM. Sound familiar? Also at BetMGM, give me the Chicago Bulls on the money line +105. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. Follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connian for more picks and props throughout the day. TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions. And Spotify and Apple Podcasts for your audio versions. Have a great Wednesday. Let's talk sports, and let's get ready for baseball tomorrow.